Hello, this is J.B. Avance with Oil, Gas, and Petrochem Equipment and PennEnergy.com at the 2008 Oil Sands and Heavy Oil Technologies Conference. Today we're talking to Lynn Tucker with the NC Services Group of Companies about their oil sands applications. Lynn, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your company and how it's evolved.
Well, our company was formed 20 years ago by two gentlemen that were out of Hay River in the Northwest Territories. They were into shipbuilding, barge building, and they had a few cranes that they shipped to Edmonton. And they operated a very successful company for 20 years. And 2 years ago, we were bought out by a capital investment group, private equity group from Seattle that put us together with a group of other companies. The first acquisition they made was A1 Crane in Grand Prairie, Alberta, that's more into the conventional drilling and gas. The second acquisition was Transtech, is a transport company, so we got both horizontal and vertical transport with the trucks and the cranes. And we recently moved into the U.S. with Mullen Transport and Crane, which is a 50-50 company, half cranes, half transport, that does a lot of wind energy and refinery work in a place like Billings, Montana, and Soda Springs, Idaho, and Green River, Wyoming. So we've been very growing on a really high-speed train, buying lots of equipment, making these acquisitions, and our oil sands clients are Syncrude, Suncor, OptiNexon. We do both project and maintenance work. We were heavily involved with CNRL, the Horizon project in the oil sands. It's still underway. They'll probably have oil out of the pipe next summer. And
when you say maintenance, Lynn, there's a difference between project management and actually maintaining an oil sands project. Can you explain that just a little bit, and NC's abilities?
Once the plant is operating, they have a lot of equipment that wears out at various speeds. Like they mine tar sand, and in the winter it comes out of the ground in huge frozen masses of sand and oil. They use crushers to break it all up, and it's a fine grinding compound that just eats equipment. So they have to change the sizers, change all these things. Some of them are on a 4 times a year turnaround. It's quite a large job. It operates 24 hours a day, so we use some big cranes, take these things apart. They clean them all up, put in new parts, and put them back together. But they do that also in upgrading and all the various processes in the oil sand. But that's in the mined side of it, where they actually dig it. We do a lot of work with the SAGD, or in situ, where they move it out of in place. So they're injecting steam into the ground to loosen the oil from the sand. So there's 2 pipes running horizontally above each other. So steam in the top loosens it all up, and the oil just gravity drains in the bottom, and they pump it out with pump jacks like you would see in California, Oklahoma. Okay. Same sort of stuff.
You told me you're the crane guy.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the cranes, because that apparently is your passion, and just we're going to take a few shots of the cranes, but tell me about the specialties of NC as far as the cranes.
Well, we've have a very modern fleet. We've crawler cranes, 300 ton and smaller. Those are very good in maintenance project. They're quick to move. They're all brand new Liebherr cranes from Germany. We've bought a lot of all-terrain cranes up to 500 ton. In our existing fleet, we go to 1,000 ton. It's a combination. It's the LG. There wasn't very many in the world made, but it's really good in our wind business, and it works well around the process plants, flare stacks. If you need to reach things more than 500 feet tall, that's the one you want.
Okay. In a nutshell, if you had to give the 30-second pitch, what does NC bring to oil sands operations in your opinion? I
think what we bring is innovative solutions. You know, we're a solution-based company. We try and help our clients optimize the use of the cranes, and we're not a big company. We're by far not the biggest, but when we get our investment group and the 4 companies together, we do have the capacity. I went there myself. It's just about 12 months ago. I was recruited from another company, and I was excited to get there when I saw the energy of the investment group, plus when I saw the plan. I was happy to get there, and we want to be a tier 1 supplier that can work this thing through from the beginning of the project stage and right through startup, and have a maintenance contract at the end, just by providing solutions to our clients.
Your information person was telling me as we arranged this interview that Last year you weren't even on the list as far as crane operators and operations of this kind, and suddenly you're at 15, something like that, and by this time next year, who knows, and there are more acquisitions and more innovations to come from NC companies.
Oh yeah, we're very, very active. We have a good group of people. We've put together processes, policies, and corporate governance. We've got an accounting group that's growing like crazy. Us in operations can't quite understand that, but it's there. And no, I'm excited. The oil sands is a huge opportunity for Canadian business and worldwide, I would say, because there's not the capacity here to possibly sustain the next 20 years of growth when we see those billions of barrels of oil coming out of the ground. It's exciting times to be here.
Well, we're glad to tell our readers and our viewers and our subscribers about NC Group of companies, and we appreciate your time, Lynn, and we'll be checking with you next year to see if you move from 15 to 2.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.